Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Marcus from CCU Discussions coming at you with a Banlist discussion video. To meme on myself, I've made this video twice. One, because I had a redundant opening from my last video, and two, because there was a storage error in my recording device, so I then had to remake the video completely. So hopefully, third time's a charm. We'll get it right today. But we're going to do a more concise Banlist discussion video. We're going to cover everything. I've watched a lot of videos, and so there's way more cards that I want to talk about that I may not have talked about before. Simultaneously, my first one on this, not to try and double dip in the content, but I think was a little bit ranty and too gentle at times, so we're going to try to keep it more concise and on base and on track. So we'll get through this one pretty quickly, a lot quicker than an hour, and I'm going to try to keep a lot of my videos to this degree, and try to calm down and work through and walk through things a little bit slower. Maybe I won't say things that is wrong, and a little more be a little bit more concise for you guys. So let's start off with the biggest offender, Sakazuki. So Sakazuki, there's, I think the leader should be banned. If you're going to ban anything, just ban the leader. I'm tired of all the other cards getting mentioned, but that's not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen. Nor do I really think that it should. I don't think that there really is anything worth banning right now, overall. But they announced that they're doing a ban list. So that means something's going to happen. And ergo, we should start off with the most wanted, number one hated deck, Saka. And I don't think the leader's going to get banned. But there are a lot of cards surrounding it that could. And I think that there's one place that you need to start. And that's Houndsblaze. I think Houndsblaze needs to be banned, and I think that should be the first hit. I think another unique hit would be banning the 7-drop Borsalino as well. The card is slept on how good it is. And that's probably not going to happen, though, because in OPO6, they come out with an SP version of him. So, if they're going to do a ban list that affects us, I doubt that will happen. Because they're not going to try to kill their sales. But Houndsblaze is the most appropriate hit to Sakazuki. Nothing else is. I'm going to repeat that. Nothing else is. For a number of reasons. It's good at pumping attacks late. It's good at removal. It's good at making Brenu relevant early, or making your leader an 8k swing while getting rid of something on the board. I think it's just a terrible card. Terribly designed card with black. Should have been definitely a black-green card that KO'd a rested card. Should have been something like that. But it's not. So, if it was a green card that, KO'd a 2 or less and pumped something 3,000 and it had to be in rest mode, I think that'd be a lot better. But it wasn't. It's a blue card that bottom decks it. So, let's talk about the other offenders. Easy ones, Ice Age, Great Eruption. Nothing has happened to either of these cards. Ice Age only played 2 in Saka. It's not good in every matchup. Ice Age is the primary one everybody wants hit, despite the fact Great Eruption draws a card. Again, I don't know where your headspace is thinking that Ice Age needs to go when one of them is a draw a card and reduce at the same time. And neither of them are about to be as strong as Suru is with Gecko Moria. So, the fact that Suru and Helmeppo can be played off of Gecko effect is, really strong. And when they start playing it next to Lucci, you're going to understand real fast that Suru being a 2K that's also played and reduces and can be reduced off after being pitched and brought back off of Gecko. Yeah. Speaking of Gecko, should the 8-drop Gecko get hit? Absolutely not. The only thing that they should do if they want to touch the card at all is just make it throw bark only. That's it. Right into that. Black deserves to have good cards. Blue, I could go down the long list of every color, and I won't, but I could, that has excellent cards. Black has just been severely stuck in the mud for a long time with a bunch of bricks that don't do anything. We don't draw, we draw cards and filter. So when you hit Rebecca or Mancherry or Kuzan or, our Great Eruptions, you're taking the only thing we have that's not even netting us cards. We're breaking even or going negative most of the time. Okay? Furthermore, when it comes to Gecko and Rebecca, you think that I give a crap that Gecko Moria plays 3 or 4 cards and you're not over here calling for Uda 7 Luffy to get banned? You think I give a remote crap about that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Again, I don't know where your headspace is. I just don't get it. I don't get how everyone's like, look at all the cards they played. And it's like, Uda does that every single turn while putting blockers on the board to defend itself. Simultaneously behind a kid. And we'll get to kid in a bit. But again, I don't know why we're talking about Gecko needing to be banned when Luffy is like spamming out. And I only say that because Uda's the best green deck in the game and will be continuously good and get only better. But no. Bottom line is they should only errata Gecko to be Thriller Bark Pirates only, and then keep it within his archetype if they're going to do anything, and I don't think they need to do anything. Rebecca Lucci. No, you can't ban either of these cards. You can't ban Lucci because without banning Red, Green Law, and Zoro, you just literally allow them to wreak havoc in the format again. And as cool as I think a lot of people think that would be, I don't think they really want the trauma of sitting against a Red, Green Law player and just getting an endless barrage of 14-14 unblockable Luffys. I just really don't think that's what you want in your life. And if it is, and you want, have all the good Red Green Law players in the world prove themselves and prove that they can do it, that's all fine and dandy, but the rest of us don't need to resuffer red all over again just so you can have your time in the sun because you decided to take Rob Lucci out back and ban him. Right? Like, Black should and forever should keep all of those low-cost decks in check. And good news is that Sakazuki is going to definitely keep them in check because they will have 8 forms of removal that are Rob Lucci effects, and thank God for that. Furthermore, Rebecca getting banned, again, is hot nonsense. Okay? Black has only Brenu as a searcher. Kuzan as a draw card. They don't have any other value plays. Blue has a 10 cost card that draws 4. All the other draw cards along the way. All the other searchers for their decks. I mean, purple is technically drawing 2 cards a turn and ramping. Like, red purple's ramping. Zoro's got 12 searchers. Same thing for freaking Homeboy for Law. Raw's got 12 searchers in his deck. And then, like, Green's got... don't even start on Uda. We're just going to ignore that. But, I mean, Green's got Baby 5. It's got Bonnie. If you want to splash engines in there, see my kid deck profile come on the channel very soon, by the way. Yellow, Katakuri's got Pudding and a trigger card that plays itself out of life and gets to search. And it's also going to get reject that draws a card as a trigger. So this hot nonsense about, like, Black not getting cards because it generates value, it's like, oh, well, Rebecca puts a card on the board. 7-drop Luffy is a 7 for 7k that plays a 4 for 5, and then a 3 for 4 blocker, or a 3 for 5 card that tapped a Dawn and searched another one. And you want to talk to me about Rebecca being broken? It's like Uda is so powerful right now. This is the other thing that's egregious. The Bart play. The Bart play also is just super strong right now. Being able to untap your cards, your 7 Luffys that have swung for the turn is disgusting. So, everybody wants to talk about, Rebecca and Hina and Lucci and how powerful that is. Do you see what other decks do? And trust me, in OP06, it's going to get way worse for a lot of decks. And I'm not talking about Sokka. I'm talking about, everybody else. Uda gets more consistent. Yellow gets way too many good trigger cards. Cards that play the board, and then when they die, they heal. Right? Red's getting some solid stuff. Purple is getting Reiju for draw, so like red, purple law, more spam aggro, going to be broken. Green's getting locked. I don't know if you noticed, Perona's pretty good. And the Yamato exists, and the Yamato's got Horty, so like Green's getting Horty Jones. Basically 9 for 10 Kaido in Yamato. He's for 7 Dawn, and rest 2 cards, and take life. So draw cards, rest your opponent's cards, and swing for 10. Rush. Seems good. Who needs 2 billion will tomorrow? Nobody. But yeah. Yeah, the fact that Horty also takes life to get a Morrow in range. So broken. All that to say, no. Like, I think Rebecca is fine. I think all of Sakazuki that's not Houndsblaze is fine. So I hope they just ban Houndsblaze. Moving on to yellow. 10 cost Linlin. No, doesn't need to be banned. Again, if you paid any attention to my game states video, if you haven't watched it, I suggest you go watch it. But in that video, we talk about 10 cost Dofi versus Linlin. There are game states where you play Linlin and lose automatically for playing her. There's game states where you play her and you were already winning the game and now you're winning it harder. And now it's really insurmountable. Okay, I get that. That feels bad. There's game states where you are absolutely losing and then you play 10 cost Dofi and you just won the game. Okay, so if we want 10 cost Linlin ban, we need to keep the same energy. We need to keep the same energy about Dofi. It just happened the other day. I just played a game the other day, okay, where it was a requirement for me to have Dofi in my hand, or the game was just not winnable. It wouldn't have mattered what other card it could have been. Dofi was the only card that could win me the game. 100%. There's no other card. I mean, there's games where 8 cost Kid. There was a game I had on the sim the other day. Again, 8 cost Kid was the only out in my entire deck, and I top decked it. Yep. Like, let me explain how broken Linlin is, how like necessary it could be, like to have multiple Linlins, not even have a restricted, right? Like not even have a restricted. The thumbnail of this video will be a board state that it took for me to beat an Uda player. It was from a real game. Okay? I want you to think about how long I had to survive against Uda as Katakuri to get to that board state. And no, I was just not sacking triggers out of life like a madman. I had to put 2 8-cost kids in his life. And if I didn't have multiple Linlins, he just would have re-walled up immediately as soon as I swung into his life. And then proceeded to win the game because it is impossible to attack into that card with any amount of attack measure. And the only form of removal that yellow has to get rid of it is Katakuri. Okay? It is impossible for me to out the card without putting it back into his life and crafting a kill attack line out of that. Or it's impossible to attack over when he's playing 2 to 3 blockers every single stinking turn. It's not possible. I just lose. I just eventually hard lose. And that's the reality. If I didn't have multiple Linlins, and you'll see it, it'll be in the thumbnail. That is what it took for me to beat what I would say right now is the strongest current OPO5 Uda list we have to date. In my opinion. Ratio-wise, down to the wire. So, that's what it took for me to beat somebody. Who definitely would have beat the brakes off me if I didn't have multiple limits. So, no, I don't think she needs to be banned. Beji, no. Beji, I don't think needs to be banned. Again, game states, there's times where Beji's not good for a trigger. I will talk about what I want banned, and this will solve a lot of problems. But Beji, I think, is fine. I think Beji is fine as he is. I think that I think everybody who's saying that they got sacked by Beji last life and that it ruined their tournament or whatever, number one, play around it. It's a trigger in yellow. They're getting 50 more. Literally, they're getting 20 cards worth of awesome triggers next set. So, play around it. And I get it. It's one more trigger that you don't want to have to play around that can stop things. But here's what you really need to ask yourself. Is the thing that the Veggie stopped, did it warp the game state? Right? Like for the Uda player that complains, was it your leader that got stunned when you had double I'm Invincible in hand and plan on swinging for 9 3 times in a row on top of whatever's on your board? What, if you're a Sakazuki player complaining about Veggie, that's like tea calling the kettle black. If you're a Zoro player, you're going to win anyway. You starting to see where I'm going with this? If you're a purple Luffy player and you ramped and high rolled and on turn 3 played down, turn 4 played down a 9 cost Kaido, do you think I feel bad that your Kaido got stunned last life Veggie and you lost off of it? Played a 9 for 10 rush while playing like Magellan and Law and like Queen Blocker and all this other stuff? So like what, yellow's just not allowed to have good cards because you find it annoying? You have to, the only time that card is good is when it's in the life. And it's not even good all the times that it's in the life. Now, OPO6, this next card I'm going to talk about, Katakuri Leader, yeah, that guy got to go. He needs to be banned. Okay? He's been around long enough. He is the #1 offender. I don't know if I said it earlier, but if Big Mom had a home, it's only in that leader. If anyone else topped with yellow Linlin or black yellow Linlin, nobody's going to complain about that. They will complain about Katakuri, and Katakuri gets really broken with a lot of OPO6 cards. Stacking a card from your life to your hand, because remember I just said, the only time that Benji's broken is when he is in your life. Well, we're getting a card that allows you to put him in your life, and then he gets to put it at the bottom of the deck. Bottom of the life pool. So that's a problem. So he needs to be banned for that reason. Secondly, he's just been around so long. He swings for 7 every turn. With Onami, it'll be Banish, on top of being a Thunderbolt in life that he can manipulate with counter. I just think that and him being a Big Mom Pirates leader with 10 cost Linlin is too much. Linlin's not the problem. Like, even if you did that and Katakuri could still play like Yamato and 8 cost Katakuri, it'd still be really strong. Because then he would put like Shirahoshi or other cards that are triggers back into his life, like Sanji or whatever, back into his life and still heal, but still put on pressure. So, I don't know. 2 billion volts, 200 million volts tomorrow. I do not know how you can talk about Howlin' Blaze. Anyone can talk about Howlin' Blaze being banned and not talk about this card. It is stronger than Howlin' Blaze is in the endgame. Howlin' Blaze requires other cards to even be good. Okay? See the fact that it has got 0 play outside of Rebecca and Sakazuki, and even in Rebecca, it's not very good. There's no blue deck in the game that is like, yes, Hound's Blaze is the card for me. I need that in my deck today. Like, that's a good blue card. Because outside of blue-black, it's terrible. Like, yellow, 200 billion Multimaru, that card's good no matter what yellow deck it's in. It's got a stupid trigger. Hound's Blaze trigger, terrible. Its trigger, broken. The only time it's not good is quote-unquote early. Did you see what they gave in LNOPO and EB01? They gave him a card that plays the 7-drop and takes them to 1. They have several cards that take them to 1. And so now this card's going to be live. Yeah. I'm not a fan. Nope. Trigger effect's dumb. It's only going to get worse. Hiyori being able to put it in your life's only going to make it worse. It's got to go. It's got to go. Lastly, another card I want banned, but they're not going to do it, an L leader. it is what it is, man. This leader's broken, needs to be banned. It's the best deck in the game. I don't care anymore. I don't want to Saka any of it. I'm not even going to argue with people anymore. It's the best deck. It just won again. 500 person regional just won again. Started off winning in America. For the record, Sakazuki didn't win any North American tournaments that are of any matter or worthy of note. I want you to know that. Call that crap right from the beginning. No, too OP. But the leader's broken. He's getting a ton of yellow support that's just unjustified for yellow to get, period. I just, again, I don't know why they just feel like making yellow broken, but okay. I mean, it's going to be so bad that Kata Curry probably isn't going to be playing majority Big Mom cards anymore. It's just going to be like Trigger.Death. So, yeah, and now it's not going to be any different. I just want it banned. The leader's effect is too broken and literally gatekeeps decks out of the game. But again, it won't happen because he's getting support in the next set and he's going to get support in EB01. So, probably won't happen. Moving on to green. 8 cost kid. Banned. Needs to be banned. Worst floodgate in the game. Completely oppressive. Against certain decks, completely unwinnable game states exist because of this card. Nobody should be subject to it. It should go. 10 cost Dofi. If you ban or restrict 10 Mom and you don't hit Dofi, or don't believe that it should be hit, you're a hypocrite. That's, just being honest with you, you are. The card is broken. And if they ban Kid, Uda's just going to switch to Dofi anyway. And yeah, she's going to be a lot more susceptible to dying. But with a wide board that she defends, if she 10 cost Dofis you one time, she can just win the game on the spot because of it. Because the number of attacks that you have to remember are limited to the number of I'm Invincibles in her hand. And how wide her board is, which it goes wide at 7 Dawn plus like every single time. So, and then the last card in green that I want banned is Uda Leader, but that's not going to happen. She, like Anel, just completely outclasses decks to the nth degree. Just nothing you can do. Just auto lose because she just draws too many cards and then plays like way too many cards and then plays too many cards to the board and then plays too many really broken cards that she gets to basically do a top deck search on top of her draw from turn, and then anytime Nami resolves, it's a top 3 search, and then she has a free event that it's top 3 search. She is literally playing with a minimum of 46 card deck. I mean, it's even worse than like any of the other searchers in the game because it doesn't cost any Dawn. Free cards, just top 3 search. Yeah, let's go get your cards, sure. Oh, disgusting. Moving on to blue. Nami Leader. Yeah, I want Nami banned. Main reasons, real quickly, she's solitaire and she limits blue card draw design. They literally can't print a draw card in the game that's good now because of her for blue. Not that blue really needs any other good draw cards, but like they just won't ever be able to do it because she exists. And solitaire isn't One Piece. I believe that her card design is antithetical to what the game's existence is about. And as much as I have friends that love playing her, and I wish them the best success anytime we play in a tournament or they go to a major tournament, my opinion is that she's unhealthy for the game for a number of reasons. So I think she should be banned. Kabaji can come back if she's banned, but Kabaji cannot come back if she's not banned. Moving on to red. Boatbeard, all the hot nonsense about that card coming back. I just don't. I feel like the red players all got gathered in some convention somewhere and said, what is the number one problem that we have? Oh, Rob Lucci. Then what was the number one card we should bring back? Oh yeah, full power Whitebeard. I just don't know why you would want that again. It's like everyone's on some major consensus to just hand the format back to red after it, it literally dominated 90% of wins for like 3 formats in a row. But no. No, I would not give you, in my opinion, Boat Beard needs to stay banned. And then Zoro and Red Green Law both need to be banned. They've outlived their time, and the fact that Zoro's still winning treasure cups and topping an OP05 is disgusting. Talk about a set 1 leader that has an effect that's way too good and an archetype that's full of rush. So please, just move on from it and ban it. And then the final card in red is Curly Dedan. Searcher that searches searchers, or all my 2Ks and other good 1-drops just should not exist. So, yeah. Yeah, it's just stupid. And he's broken in the 2 decks that are previously offenders. And the thing is that other decks could be just as good if they just switch and pivoted to that engine. So I'm not going to entertain it. I just get it out. Just get it out. We're done. Yep, we're done with that. Yeah, so that would pretty much do it for that. Moving on to purple. I was going to say Magellan, but the reality is Magellan doesn't need banned. No. Nope, yellow's getting too stupid next set, so if purple has Magellan, more power to him. But I really do hate the card. But I would retract anything about Magellan needing to be banned now. I don't think there's any leaders or any other cards that are problematic. You could argue 9-cost Kaido, but nah. I mean, I think there's an argument for it, but I don't think he's that, like, broken. I think the Dawn minus cost is enough to offset it. No, blue-purple Kaido. This could be something to talk about, but that deck's not good, so it is what it is. So, just to recap, for black, the only card that I want banned in there technically belongs to Sakasuga's Hans Blaze, but it's not black card, it's a blue card. But so nothing in black. I don't want anything touched in black. If I were to ban anything that has black in it, period, it'd just be the Sakazuki leader. If you ban that, Hans Blaze doesn't get hit. Moving on to yellow, cards that I want banned are 2 billion Multimaro if we ban Hound's Blaze. Enel Katakuri. Moving on to blue, Hound's Blaze, Nami. Moving on to green, Uda, Kid. Only time I want Dofi hit is if you're going to touch 10-cost Linlin. Because they're literally, like, just as broken. And I just don't, like, green's getting too powerful. Like, people don't get it. The number 1 card played in Perona is Dofi. Okay? 4 of them. So you look forward to that. And keep that same energy when your cards get tapped over and over again. What, like I saw a disgusting play of Perona the other day where literally he had killed one of the cards, and then the only attacker that he had played on the previous turn got tapped by Perona leader, only to get stunned by that, the other card, and the leader got stunned again. So 2 turns in a row just got stunned out, and then he died on the following turn. Yeah, stupid. But yeah, back to green. I just want Uda and Kid, 8-cost Kid band. Red, we got Zora leader, Curly Dedan, Law. Yeah, I think that pretty much does it for those. All Vanguard decks that are just like too good. I think also if you ban Zoro and Red Green Law, you could probably hit Lucci. Like, I could probably give you that. But as long as they exist as currently constructed, no. Not at all. And purple, nothing. So, that's my final thoughts on the ban list that I would like. We'll see what they do. I hope that it's going to be a relatively benign list. Yeah, I really don't want them to, like, axe black because Sakazuki exists. I think that would just be one of the worst things ever. And I think that Sakazuki is one of the most overhyped decks I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, I've never seen so many high percentages of representation for a conversion win rate to be so low in my entire life. So, it's what it is. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments down below, as always. Anything that I missed that you think needs to be on there, I'd love to talk to you guys about it. And hopefully we can keep the pace up with this conciseness and bring you some new content soon. Kid deck profile, and hopefully I'll figure out how to upload some sim games. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time. It's Marcus from TCG Discussion signing off. Laters.